Last year's repeated and well-documented acts of bullying and harassment by China's mighty naval forces and the militia in the country's EEZ did little to intimidate or spook the Philippine Coast Guard and security forces. The results did not pan out exactly to China's expectations, but rather reinforced the country's resolve to ramp up security patrols and call out the Chinese each time they violate Philippine sovereignty in the West Philippine Sea. Our Patrick De Jesus has more.
Philippine Coast Guard vessel BRP Teresa Magbanua.
The BRP Teresa Magbanua conducts hourly radio challenges against a China Coast Guard vessel being monitored in the West Philippine Sea. The CCG 3304 responds, but the PCG asserts through the radio challenge that the Chinese vessel is violating the Philippine Maritime Zones Act, UNCLOS, and the 2016 Arbitral Award.
To avoid misunderstandings and miscalculations, please order your court and leave this sea area immediately.
You do not possess any legal authority to patrol within the Philippine Exclusive Economic Zone. You are directed to depart immediately and notify us of your intention. Your illegal activity will be reported to higher authorities.
The China Coast Guard was once again driven back 90 nautical miles from Zambales. For almost a month, Chinese vessels have been rotating their trips in the Philippine EEZ off the coast of Zambales. This began after the initial deployment of CCG 5901, also known as the Monster Ship. However, the PCG stood its ground to ensure the protection of Philippine maritime rights through peaceful means. Meanwhile, retired Associate Justice Antonio Carpio stated the provisional agreement should not be extended to other parts of the West Philippine Sea. This agreement applies to the resupply missions for BRP Sierra Madre, but Carpio believes it should be terminated due to the likelihood of China exploiting the deal.
Because China demands some limitation, we are already giving up our sovereign right. And China will use this example to expand this agreement in the West Philippine Sea. I'm anticipating China to do that already.
The National Security Council clarified the provisional agreement does not include seeking China's permission.
Number two, there is no inspection of any of the ships that go to Rarore. And number three, there is no so-called supervision. As mentioned by Justice Carpio, we will never surrender our sovereign rights and our sovereignty because our position in Ayungin Shoal is very clear and that the BRP Sierra Madre is there as the flag bearer and as a symbol of our sovereignty.
The provisional agreement between the Philippines and China was reached in July last year. This followed the most violent incident at Ayungin Shoal in June, at the height of the China Coast Guard's harassment. From the People's Television Network, Patrick De Jesus, Balitang Pambansa.